let's talk about the Suicide Squad patch that came out on Friday, or the update, I should say, right? Now, their update, we're going to talk about through the article from Game Rant. It says, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League players have to wait longer than expected for the next patch. Okay? It says, delays emerge impacting a delivery of the next Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League patch, affecting fans waiting on certain changes. Okay? It says, fans and players of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League may end up waiting longer than they planned for the game's next scheduled update. According to developers Rocksteady, the team is prioritizing testing a planned fix to make sure that they're ready for deployment of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League servers and clients. Okay? It says Suicide Squad had a rough go of it things since the launch of early February 2024. Multiple delays and leaks resulted in backlash against the games before it and was even released. Following the launch, audiences' fatigue over the prolific live service elements also contributed on lukewarm reception, causing publisher Warner Bros. To declare Suicide Squad sales were disappointing. Nevertheless, the game maintains an audience, and developer Rocksteady remains committed to deploying promised 4 seasons of content for the game through 2024. Now, I'm going to stop right there and just kind of give you my thoughts on that section. All right. We knew going into this that the delays and stuff, everyone was like, we don't really want DC characters shooting guns. It all looks kind of weird. We're shooting pimples on tanks and whatnot. And the game came out, and I said prior, like a year and a half when we first saw it, I said, it looks interesting. I'm going to play it for the story because I like Rocksteady. Up until this point of Suicide Squads, I had no, reason to, not trust Rocksteady and their storytelling. Now, the storytelling in this is, I think, good. I don't think it's great. I think it's entertaining. I think it's a comic book-esque type of story. And so I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed it. I played it. I have over 100 hours of it. I played through the campaign. Put an additional, it took me 21 hours to beat the campaign or whatnot, taking our time. And then we put about another, 80 hours in. We're just over 100 hours in with the end game and whatnot. Now, the game right now is broke. It's 100% broke. A lot of people can't play or get in, can't play multiplayer. It's not progressing people in certain things. And people are like, this game's dead, this game's dead. And people have changed to say that the game's dead on arrival to now it's dead after the Season 4. And I think it's funny to me because it doesn't matter, like, to you and me just playing the game. If you're interested in the game, you buy the game, you play the game, you put down the game, just like any other single-player, multiplayer. It doesn't matter what type of game it is. You play the game, you put the game down, and then you move on. But we like to hang around, like, because it's a live service game, even though Rocksteady themselves said that you don't have to play this game all the time. You can put this game down and come back after the seasons when we add more content. The public, I don't know if it's the Twitter space or the public, feels like this game is dead because, no one's playing it now, and they look at the Steam charts and whatnot, and everyone's like, it's done. Well, they already got your money. So they're going to be around because the game itself, and this is my thoughts, right? My thoughts, and a lot of people are pushing back on this, saying after the 4 seasons, they're done. And in the game itself, it shows you the 4 seasons. When we talked to Miller, him talking about the data mine and stuff like that, he said that about 20 months, right, which would give us a year and a half, a little over a year and a half, and that would get through the 6th season, Season 6. Now, we know inside the game itself, once you beat the end game, or once you beat the game, it shows Brainiac 13 Brainiacs that you have to beat, and it shows the 4 seasons, and it shows you what the actual seasons are going to be. And then there's 2 extra seasons that they don't show, but there's 13, right? So there's enough seasons in there where you can tell there's 6 seasons. So everyone says it's done after 4, and WB is not going to support this after that because it's dead on arrival. And I look at it a completely different way. And maybe this is because of my entertainment background and being in the film industry and whatnot. But WB has a lot of money riding on this. Not to say that they put a lot of money into this specifically, but because of the Elseworld, because of James Gunn, because of the movies they're working on, because of the other games they're working on, I think they're using this also as, for instance, Witcher 3 came out years before the actual show, but when the show came out, people started playing Witcher 3 again. When other people started coming out with other games, they went back to go play those other games. Hell, Skull and Bones is out. People are going back to play Black Flag. Little things like this advertise, and people like to go back to certain things. So when people come and watch the movie, the next Wonder Woman movie that comes out, or the next Batman movie that comes out, it doesn't matter if it's attached to that or not, all of a sudden people start playing those things. And I think that's what they're kind of banking on. This was supposed to be their bank on, yeah, sure, they'll get the upfront people to pay for the $70, $100 of the game, and then as the seasons go on, people might come back and play, or other people might play it for the first time. They might pay $50, $40, $30 for that to keep them coming back. Okay. Again, Todd Howard famously said it's not how the game comes out, but it's, you know, it's how it finishes, right? So it's not done when it releases, right? So let's continue on. Despite Rocksteady's commitment, the new issues of the problems of Suicide Squad stability are affecting the ability to bring out updates on schedule. Now, the patch notes covering the March 1st Suicide Squad update, including the comment about the next patch. Now, the patch was originally scheduled to deploy next week, indicating the week of March 8th. Now, the patch will also delay an unspecified date. Testing new updates is needed, and a second Suicide Squad patch introduced a new bug that blocked progress for some players. Now, I've said this since week one. I said the not communicating right off the bat. They were dead silent for 6 days. I was like, this is terrible. This is a bad starting off point for this company, especially when Helldivers came out and they had issues, and they were instantaneously 6 hours in instead of 6 days later. 6 hours in, they're very upfront about what's happening with the game. These guys did the opposite direction. Now, I don't know if that's Rocksteady's call or if that's someone else's call, or WB's call, but they were dead silent. And I understand they had their, nose to the grindstone here and trying to fix certain things, but this is bad. And I said leading up to this, I said that as long as they don't have the problems like Marvel's Avengers did when they launched, I think, and they're not chasing their tails, they would be fine. Now, I still think they're okay, and the reason is, I think, again, this is just my speculation, I think the DLC that they've worked on, Season 1, 2, 3, and 4, that's done, in the pipeline, and they can focus on what is at hand right now, which is the server issues. Again, I don't know. These are just my speculations. But I feel like the reason that they can do what they're doing right now and not, start freaking out is because that stuff is done. They have to get the servers up and running. If they bring out Season 1 before the servers are fixed, it's idiotic. Okay? You can't bring out new content, update the store, bring out a season pass, and yet people still can't play the game. They have to fix the servers up front to make sure that this game is working going forward. So if and this is the mindset I don't understand. People are upset because the Season 1, because they'll lie to you, right? Like, if Season 1 comes out in April instead of March, people are like, well, they lied to us. But they also want the game to work. But they also want the new content to come out. But they want to make sure their game works, right? Like, the customers are like, you lied to us. You said it was coming out in March, but the game's broke. You can't play it. So what would you rather have? Them to come out with the stuff that you can't play, or them to fix the game? You let me know, okay? So according to Rocksteady's comment, the team must focus on deploying a free Season 1 update in March. Okay, Suicide Squad Season 1 update will add the Joker as a playable character, and will also add new gear, environment, other fresh content for existing players. Well, there's a major problem here. If I can't play with my friends, and I can't play the game, okay, because of crashing issues and stuff, and I can't get into the game, does it really matter if new character comes in, new content comes in, new environment comes in? No, it'll be a really bad experience, especially since they said that it's an online service game all the time, always online. You should have had the offline mode ready to go at launch. Now, again, I'm not the developer, okay, but they made that choice to release the game before the offline mode, and it's coming sometime this year. That said, Rocksteady won't have players interested in seeing more bug fixes in the launch. Rocksteady said that the prioritizing fixing of outstanding multiplayer issues and problems with login, and the update is in the works. It will not require a client-side patch, so players won't have to download a new file or potentially see improvements. Ensuring that the player can essentially access the game should help prevent Suicide Squad player count from dropping further. Now, while disappointing commercial performance, the lukewarm reception from the audience is bad news for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It's encouraging to see that Rocksteady is still committed to keeping the game updated constantly with the announcement of post-launch content. Nothing damages a live service prospect more severely than signs that developer won't support it. So those who are having fun with the game and those who are curious about jumping into Suicide Squad in the near future can at least rest assured that the game will get support through 2024. Now, if you guys remember, we were posting things before the game came out in the fine print. It said that anytime they can just stop supporting the game. They have to at least support the game up to the 4 seasons. Why is this? Because, well, technically they told us that we have 4 seasons coming. And yes, you paid the $70 for that game. And the reason you paid $70 for that game is because you thought that you're getting the game and 4 seasons. Okay? So it's more of an obligation now. So regardless if the game is broke, buggy, unfinished, they have to at least give, at least in my opinion, have to give their customers and fans. Now, WB might look at it and go, well, there was that fine print. Everyone hit OK on that button. We might just shut the game down and not support it anymore. I think that's highly unlikely. Okay, because WB would lose so much, any kind of goodwill that they have left, because WB is getting shit on in the film industry. They're getting shit on also in the game industry. Now, Gotham Knights didn't do very well. Hogwarts Legacy did very well. This was not doing very well either. Okay, but if they just shut the game down, they would kill any kind of goodwill that they had left. Okay, so I think personally, I think the game will go through, like Miller said, with the 20 months. I think it will go through season 6. Once the 4 seasons are done, it will be, that's where they say, in 6 months we're done, type of thing, if it goes that route. I do believe that if they get their shit together, they fix the servers, the game starts to go, and then the cadence that comes in every 3 weeks or every 12 weeks with the seasons, with the story content, I believe they can save what the game is, but I don't see a big chunk of people coming and buying this game in the long run. I do see the player base that bought the game, that was interested in the game, continuing to play the game, and being disappointed once the game shuts down, just like they were for Anthem, just like they were for Marvel's Avengers, and just like Suicide Squad. Now, I'm okay. I played the game. I got my money's worth for it. When the stories come in for Scarecrow or Two-Face or Killer Croc or whoever else is down the line, I'll come back and play it because, to me, it's a comic book, right? Every month I go get the next comic book that I want to read, and once I'm done reading that comic book, I put that comic book down and wait for the next issue to come out. That's the way I'm personally looking at this game. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you feel about Suicide Squad? If you're a person that purchased the game, are you going to continue playing the game as it comes out? You don't have to pay anything else for it. And if you're a person that didn't buy the game, are you waiting to never ever purchase the game, or are you waiting for it to go on massive sales down the road? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. I appreciate you very much. And if you like what we do here, check out some of our other videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.